guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you a build for Last Epoch. This is a game I've actually been spending a lot of time on lately as I'm waiting for some updates for some other games, and I must say I'm really enjoying it. It is in early access on Steam if you want to check it out, but again guys, this is going to be a build similar to it's basically just like a spin to win kind of build. This is going to be focused around a couple of abilities I'm going to show you in a minute, but I really want to go over these passives real quick, just kind of give you a setup for what we're really going for with this build. So this is starting with the Sentinel class, and we are going to be speccing into, or our mastery class is going to be Paladin and not Forge Guard, and we're going to be doing that guys because this whole build is going to be around physical and fire damage. That's really the main focus. So right here guys, what you're going to get is you're going to deal increased fire damage and physical damage equal to your % remaining health and 1% increased healing effectiveness per point of attunement. And so a lot of our skills right here guys are going to be around strength, adding just damage, any kind of protections we can get, because that is really kind of something that we do lack a little bit guys, is some of our elemental protections. But you'll see that a lot of abilities we use attunement, which adds I believe 5 to your elemental protections. So right here guys, you'll see that I'm doing a lot of specking into, again, strength, armor and percentage, increased damage, and I probably need to add a little more to this guys, because this is going to be one of our skills we use. Vengeance is going to be our mana and health generator whenever we run out of mana, and so this is going to help you generate a lot quicker by using that. So let's take a look down here guys at our Paladin tree, and again right here is where we start getting into the thick of it. Our increased damage, increased fire damage, penetration, fire penetration. Moving up through right here guys, this is something that you'll see in some of the gameplay. I'm throwing off these fireball looking things, and these are the divine bolts that you see, and they fly off and hit enemies, and you can even spec up and have them actually heal your allies if you're playing with other people. So right here guys, we're going to be wanting to, I only did 50% because a lot of your abilities you're going to be using have ignite chance on them, and you're also going to get ignite chance more than likely through a lot of your gear, so you really don't have to put too much into this because you're going to be igniting everything as it is. In fact, I could probably take some of this off and I would still be okay. So up here guys, we're going to get into strength and fire damage on recent melee hits. Some more, we're going to be using a sword and shield build, so this is going to give us some protection, armor and fire protection, increased armor, and critical strike avoidance, and this is something that I'm trying to get into. Again, I'm only level 55, so there's a lot of room for growth on this build, but this is just going to give you the base setup guys and how to essentially get here, and then you can expand upon it as you go. And this is going to give us some more elemental and healing effectiveness, and there's a couple abilities I use that heal you. So the healing effectiveness we get from our passive and from some of these skills, or some of these points, are really going to help out a lot. And here's our block chance effectiveness, and then in Forge Guard guys, we're actually going to be specking into it some more, and I'm working on unlocking Molten Blade. That's going to be a skill I use probably later on. But we're going to get some more strength and attunement, and then up here, every 3 seconds your next melee attack is going to deal additional physical and fire damage, and this also works if you're using throwing weapons as well, and we'll talk about that when we talk about our leveling. So this is going to give you percentage as you are gonna upgrade it as you add points to it, and then more block chance and efficiency. So something we're kind of looking at this. You'll see guys, I'm pretty high in armor and so in elemental protections. This is something we're working on. Again, this will increase as you level up. And so with that being said guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the skills and see what we have. Okay, so right now guys, I'm not using a skill. Again, I'm waiting for Molten Blade. I would have Healing Hand on here, but unfortunately, since it is in early access, upon release they will have will allow you to essentially have a skill tree for these, but as of right now you don't, so that's unfortunate. But that's why we're waiting for Molten Blade. But the two skills this is really going to focus around, guys, are your Warpath and your Vengeance. And so let's take a look at those. Okay, so with Warpath, guys, once you kind of get to you get this early on and you start with Vengeance. I believe this is actually the second skill you unlock, but once you get this, once you're able to get a few points into here and you get your ignite chance, that's when the leveling, especially early and mid game, you're just gonna fly through. I'm pretty sure I went from level 1 to 40 in about an hour and a half, maybe, so maybe 2 hours. And so you really do fly through clearing and killing enemies, especially early on. So what we're going for again, guys, here is really just getting your damage up as well as your ignite chance. So these few skills I have: armor penetration, ignite chance, damage, area of effect, and this is going to reduce some of that cost because some of these skills are going to add to your mana cost as you're spinning. So this is going to be your main skill, but whenever you run low on stamina, on mana rather, you are going to use Vengeance. And Vengeance actually works in a couple of ways. It doesn't cost anything, but it also has essentially like a counter attack that you use whenever there's incoming attacks. And so that's going to be kind of important when you see some of the skills over here. So I used a lot to up the damage, and this thing does a lot of damage, especially right here against enemies that are already hit. So a lot of times you're going to be using Warpath to spin in and hit a lot of these enemies, and then you're going to throw on, you'll use this in order to regenerate mana, but it also does significant damage and a lot of armor shed. So right here, guys, we're going to shed armor 100% and fire protection 100%, and then this is going to give you 75% added to that as well. And then so right here, this is going to apply the same fire protection and armor shed to your, I can't even say that, riposte, and that is going to be essentially like a counterattack again on incoming attacks. And then I have 3 more levels to go, and I'll probably add that to less damage taken. I did want to try out this Iron Blade chance, and it's okay, but I should probably take that and just put it into less damage taken, because you are standing still whenever you use this. You cannot move, so you are going to be taking damage. So the more you have into this will actually probably help out on your survivability. So moving on, guys, the other 2 skills that I'm really speccing into, and this one I actually might redo, mainly because of the fact that your other skills are going to be doing ignite and a lot of damage. So this is really more of a skill that you're probably going to want to use in order to just be a support skill. So Smite targets enemies with a bolt of holy fire that descends from the sky, healing allies around the target area for 20 health. So again, I added down here into ignite chance and spreading flame, which is going to deal fire damage and spread it to nearby enemies after 4 seconds. This is just for it leaves a fissure on the ground that deals additional damage right here, and it lasts. This tells you how much it lasts. And then up here, guys, is really where I probably would have added more points into, and just adding it onto the health regen and how much it actually does, because that'll probably help a lot in survivability. Again, all your other skills are really going to be doing a lot of ignite and fire damage, so you really don't need that as much. But the one big thing I really do like is this right here, your attack and cast speed whenever you throw this down. So really, it doesn't cost that much to use this. It says 15, and of course you added a couple more. You added, so it costs you about what, 27 to throw this down, and you're going to get 20% attack and cast speed. So you're going to be moving a lot faster as you go with this. So I really like this skill because of that, and I'll probably actually add more into that. Go ahead and do that. But I really like this skill. It's very, very beneficial as far as a support skill. But again, I'll probably take this stuff and move it more in the healing area. And then last but not least for us, guys, we have Holy Aura, and this is actually a passive effect that it gives you 30% increased damage, and 60 elemental protection. And whenever you activate it, it doubles the stats from bonuses for 4 seconds. Now, it is a little costly, and it does have a 10-second cooldown, but I really like it. And so when you use it, guys, here's what it's going to grant you. It's going to give you elemental protection, poison, health regen, elemental penetration, and then ignite. And again, this is something I probably don't have to put. I could probably take a point off of there and add it here, and it's going to give you increased fire damage and flame burst. Or if you want to add it somewhere else, maybe in health regen or whatnot, you can. So that's going to do it for our skills, guys. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what equipment I'm using. Okay, so as far as equipment goes, guys, I'll start with idols. Really, everything I'm looking for, guys, is just going to be with damage, fire damage, physical damage. Some of these are to help with glancing, give me a chance for glancing blow, fire damage with armor, health. So you see the premise, guys, again, just fire damage, physical damage, armor, whatever you can get out of these idols. I don't have a lot of good rolls here, so but this is again mainly focused on fire damage and what you can get out of that. This is what I used for most of the game. Oddly enough, guys, this game doesn't, it seems like the unique items are more meant for leveling and not so much for in-game activities, but these actually work pretty well even in the late game. So besides these, I would change out with something else, but so far, guys, with what I've got, this is really the best gear. And again, you're going for ignite, fire damage, ignite, and then strength, crit, you know, elemental protections. The usual is what I'm pretty much going for. So, and I'm getting a little bit of mana regeneration and things like that. So essentially, guys, again, mainly want to get all your gear to focus on your melee, your fire, and then again elemental protections, because all we're doing is fire damage and physical, and so we don't want to get any ice and stuff like that, which is why I could take this off and it would be fine. That's it right there, guys. Again, I'm still working on improving these skills, and I'm only level 55. Again, guys, I am working on this, but this is very effective in the Monolithic Fate and some of the other late game quests and stuff, so it'll only improve from here, guys. But that's the base setup, and this is a very effective build. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know what builds you guys would want me to try in the future. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.